Okay, friends and family, welcome back to this week's weekly Forex forecast. Now, last week, guys, we had an amazing time in the market, and for this week, we are expecting nothing less. Now, just a quick disclaimer before we actually get into what we have here for today. Today's video is for educational purposes only. All views are my opinion and are not intended as investment advice. Forex is a high reward, high risk business, and you should not trade with borrowed money or money you cannot afford to lose. Any investments made in light of these ideas and opinions are committed at your own risk. Now, with that said, my lovely people, let us get into the meat of the matter. As you guys would have seen in my previous analysis for last week's forecast, we were saying that in regards to our DXY, we would have seen the asset moving from this level of resistance and pushing back down to the level of support that we had identified from weeks before. And indeed, we saw where the asset did push from this level of resistance and making its way down to this level of support. Now, what's next? Now, we could actually expect the DXY to maybe push up once again from this level of support up to this level of resistance before pushing back down, as well as it could basically just break below this level of support, then continue melting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please watch out for the next move that will take place on the DXY, because whatever takes place on the DXY will affect your other currency pairs. Now look once again at the EURUSD. Now last week we did say that we were expecting the EURUSD to give us a bounce from this level of support, maybe close to this level of resistance. And however, we did secure a nice buy from this area of support and taking profit somewhere along this level of structure. Whenever you are trading, you need to ensure that you are locking in your profits, right? After that, guys, we definitely saw the EURUSD bouncing once again from this level of support, right? And as we can clearly see right now, the EURUSD is trying to make its way even higher. So right now for this week, ladies and gentlemen, right, we want to pay close attention to this wedge formation, because once we get a break above, then we will be seeing the EURUSD making its way to higher highs, and we could definitely see ourselves taking profits along this level of resistance. However, if it does break above, then we could definitely see ourselves making it even higher. However, gentle people, anything can happen in the market, and the EURUSD can also make its way below. So guys, let us pay attention to what's going on for next week, right? And whether the market goes up or whether the market goes down, we will be on top of our game and we will catch all those moves. Let's take a look at the gold. Now, gentle people, we were saying from weeks upon weeks ago, right, that it is not wise to try and sell the gold right now, because it is strictly in a bullish momentum, right? And as you guys can clearly see, gold is trying to go higher and higher and higher, right? It's consolidating a bit right here. However, I know the asset will definitely push up. However, guys, after this last leg of pushing up, guys, we can then expect the gold to be selling off, right? Now, let's pay attention to what's going on with GBPJPY. Now, last week, what we saw here on this asset, right, we saw where the pair basically formed a double bottom structure, right? So, gentle people, we can definitely see the asset probably making itself to new highs for this week, right? However, guys, if we do see the asset breaking back below this level of structure, and more seriously breaking below this level, right? If we do see the GBPJPY end up breaking back below this level of support, then of course we will definitely see the asset pouring down to new lows. However, guys, my bias for the GBPJPY going into this week is to the upside. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, right? What do you think will happen in regards to the GBPJPY for this week. Now let's take a look at the US oil. Now, my lovely people, for those persons who are investors, right? For those persons who are actually looking at the US oil, you need to bear in mind that the oil is closely approaching a very strong level of resistance. And as you guys can clearly see from your left moving over to your right, this area is a very strong level of resistance, and oil is approaching that area of resistance. So for those persons who are actually buying oil right now, my advice is to take profit, right, or to move your stop loss above your entry, right? But we will definitely see a reaction taking place at this level of structure for this upcoming week for the oil. So my lovely people, if you are trying to buy oil right now, I would not advise buying the asset at this moment in time. It is closely approaching a level of resistance, and might end up seeing the oil bouncing from that level of resistance. Now let's take a look at the USD CAD. Now my lovely people, right, just like the DXY, right, we are seeing something similar. The USD CAD definitely decided to give us a momentum to the downside, right? We saw where the asset gave us an impulse corrective move. Now what is coming up next could push lower for this week. However, gentle people, we must bear in mind that this area is a very strong area of support. Hence, we might possibly see the USD CAD bouncing from this level to push upwards. However, guys, if it does break below, then we are going to be seeing the USD CAD at new lows. Now, let's take a look at the USD Mexican. My team and I, for last week, we were basically analyzing this pair.
Perfect. Yes, excellent.
You see, the USD Mexican has been melting pretty awesome, right? So for those persons who actually caught this move as well, congratulations to you, because this was definitely a wonderful and excellent execution in the market last week. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin. Now, for many persons who actually trade Bitcoin, right, you would realize that the Bitcoin is basically sitting in a wedge, right? And if you take a look at the daily chart, Bitcoin is sitting basically above a level of support, right? Let me just highlight something here for you. Now, as you can see, the Bitcoin is sitting at a level of structure, right? It is basically sitting above this level of support right here, right? So if the market does decide to break below, then of course, guys, we will be initiating shorts on this asset. However, guys, if it does maintain its bullish momentum, right, then we can definitely start looking for buy setups and buy formations to make its way to the upside. So for those persons who actually trade Bitcoin, this should be a very interesting week for you. Now, gentle people, tomorrow is going to be an exciting night because we are going to be doing our continuation of our series Young but Conscious. So, gentle people, if you want to be inspired once again, if you want to be motivated, if you want to change your life, you will definitely roll out and tune into this amazing program where we have persons that will inspire you and change your life. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your weekend, and I hope that I will see you on Monday 8 p.m. where you will be joining us with Sean Stoltz and Rohan Roberts. Now we are going to be discussing some very important topics. Guys, tune in and let us have some fun. God bless you.